Hello everyone, you are watching Swapping Notes with me, Daphne Iking, aka Pons.
And I am Sheril A, Bustaman, aka Fluff. Which is very Fluff, as you can see.
Okay, and that is the reason why, because some people have actually asked me, why Fluff and why Pons? So Pons is because it's my nickname, and Fluff because she's got fluffy hair. That's what I call Fluff.
Yes.
Although it's very banyak now, huh?
Yeah, I'm growing it out because I promised Alithia I wouldn't cut it anymore, so that's why it just looks ridiculous. But hey, keeping it real, yo.
Oh, you listen to her lah. I told you not to cut already, right? Gatal when to cut that day. Soon
I
as
really
MC
want to
was
cut
lifted-
though. Look at this. But anyway, yes.
Don't.
Alright.
Anyway, today
Because you know
we are
your
gonna be
opinion
sharing.
about my hair is just sharing, right?
Woo! Plugging it in, y'all.
Plugging it in.
Pandai lah, kawan.
Yes.
Pandai.
Nice.
But
So
honestly,
today-
that's what I think. I think you look really nice. Well, you look actually nice with both long and short hair. It's just that I've seen you with long hair, and you look nice with longer hair too.
I think it makes my face a little less round. But I realized that I look really badass with really short hair. The only thing is that I have to maintain it really short all the time, and it makes my daughter sad because then we can't like look the same. So I'm just slowly trying to like grow it out or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, today's topic is going to be about hashtag just sharing. Both Sheril and I have encountered people who come in with unsolicited advice, whether the intention is good or not. That is for yalah, masing-masing punya tuan badan to think about lah.
Because they're just
mine
sharing.
So I have to say, okay, so Sheril, for those of you who don't know, Sheril is one of the co-founders of Sabun Tete. She makes her extra abundance of breast milk into soap. And I am more than happy to promote it for her because I'm like, yeah, even though I'm not part of the team per se, but I'm like, yeah, go for it.
You
go
are
for
so
it.
part of
So
the
I
team.
actually, I am, right? I'm so tak malu. I'm just like, walaupun I don't do any work, I'm there lah. Anyway, I've been promoting their Sabun Tete. My husband thinks it's so hilarious, by the way. And they're going like, okay, I thought that they'll be upset about the word tete because like, oh, vulgar, you know, because breast is vulgar, but it's like part of your human autonomy. But anyway, no, they were actually particular and just sharing. This lady just said, mungkin kawan kamu tak tahu yang sebenarnya ni, I just want to share lah, just sharing. And then she just sends me this whole link from the Mufti of Wilayah Persekutuan on. I didn't even bother reading. Because I sort of gauged that it's going to be something that I wouldn't really want to dwell on. So it's basically saying that it's a no-no lah. Your breast milk soaps is a no-no lah, according to the Mufti of Wilayah Persekutuan lah. So I shared it with you, and I think you got the same message too, right? Or your team did.
So actually, we looked it up before we even started making Sabun Tete because we are very like on the ball like that, and it was mentioned to me that different states have different sort of fatwas. And yes, a fatwa is considered a law, but it is only a law in that particular state. So the state of Selangor has nothing on breast milk soap and nothing on using breast milk soap in cosmetics at all. And this is only a fatwa in Wilayah Persekutuan, and I live in Selangor. So technically I'm good. So if you live in Wilayah Persekutuan, don't buy Sabun Tete because it's haram. Just sharing.
Just sharing, huh? Just sharing. She actually got back to me again, maybe because I didn't reply, and then I finally said something along the lines of, I can't remember what I wrote actually. I think I remember sharing that.
Thank you for
screenshot with
sharing.
you. I can't remember, but I said something like, be polite. I just said, thank you for sharing. Nasib baik I'm not from Wilayah Persekutuan, or to each and their own. I can't remember what I did.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you're telling me this. Thank you very much. I'll be polite about it only because I'm a polite person. But enough. You sent it to me twice. Dah lah tu.
Here's the problem with just sharing versus actual constructive criticism or advice. People who just share tend to expect you to act on their just sharing, even though they are just sharing. So this same person actually messaged Sabun Tete and Sheril A Bustaman on Instagram personally the same message, and they said the same thing. Maybe you didn't know. I'm just letting you know. I know how it feels because I'm also a pumping mom, and I know that the breast milk is very precious to us, and it's a waste to throw it away. But I would appreciate it if you didn't sell it to Muslim clients because they might not know that it's haram. And I'm like, okay. I didn't reply either. The reason to why I didn't reply is because I think it's up to every single Muslim what they want to do, and it's not for me to tell people what they should or shouldn't do. And they might or might not be living in Wilaya anyway, so it might or might not apply to them anyway. And secondly, I felt a little bit offended that she felt like she could dictate to me who my clientele should be, and she's not part of the team. But I couldn't fully be offended because she was just sharing.
I love that look because she was just sharing. Wait,
Yeah.
hang on. So she said because it might something about selling to Muslims. That means kalau non-Muslim, she's okay with you just sharing your products and selling it.
Yes.
Wow.
So she's okay with me making sabun tete and selling it if I'm selling it to non-Muslim consumers because I guess I'm just giving out the dosa by the soap sets lah, right? But technically, I don't know. Religion to me has always been something that's very personal. I know that there are fatwas and I know that there are laws, but everybody should also remember that fatwas and laws are things that are interpreted by men, as in people lah, okay, not men as in the gender, although mostly it is also meant by the gender, but never mind. Tak apa. It's mostly interpreted by people, and everybody. Then it then just become subjective because everybody's interpretation could be different. So I don't know. There isn't anything specific, obviously, about using breast milk as cosmetics in the Quran, and the line that they are quoting is about how liquids from people are just higher than animals, and humans are higher beings than animals. So they're saying that because of that, the breast milk that you make is of a higher standing than animals and whatever. So you shouldn't degrade yourself by making it
How
into.
are you degrading by using it to wash yourself up?
Yeah,
You're cleansing yourself.
into making it into a sellable cosmetic. Basically, was in a nutshell. That's what it says lah. That's what the reasoning is lah. Because we are higher beings and more intelligent beings. That's why we shouldn't be using it as cosmetics. Something in a nutshell macam tu lah. Yeah. So
I want to say my normal faham, but I don't. But okay.
So okay, I can understand why some people feel like that. But again, I said fatwas and stuff like that are interpretations, so it's still very subjective. Then how do you attribute, if this is really such a higher being product, then what do you do about the wastage?
Yeah, isn't that even more berdosa to waste when you
Yeah.
can do it into something
So then
better?
there's that. Wastage is memang berdosa, and there's a line in the Quran that talks about that. So then how do you then deal with that as a side effect of me not using it to make soap? You know what I mean? I'm not really up for going up against anybody anyway. So I'll just keep doing what I do. If you are not comfortable with buying sabun tete because you live in Wilaya and you are Muslim, that's totally cool with me as well. We have a lot of Muslim and non-Muslim clientele, but mostly everybody is not using it for a religious reason. There is no religious reason to be using it. It's mostly just hygiene, and it seems to be very gentle for a lot of people's skin, and seems to be helping a lot of people's eczema. I sound surprised, not because I didn't know that this was going to happen, because that's actually what the soap was meant to be made for. But it's just really good to hear that it's helping out so many people, and it's working out so well for a lot of people out there. Coming back to just sharing, there are a lot of other things. There are a lot of other things that people also say just sharing about, right? Especially when it comes to you, because you're a celebrity and they feel like they are entitled to an opinion of how you live, I guess.
I know. So the other day I was saying something about my uban, I need to go to get my roots touched up, and then they were saying, in my honest opinion, tak payahlah kot, mungkin itu adalah satu hidayah. Can't remember what the big words were, but then for you to start covering up, to start wearing the tudung lah. And that is something has always been a bit of a with me, because, you know, there was a time in my life where I was actually ready to go to wear the whole tudung, because I just felt it was the right time. But I wanted to start out with something like a selendang, because I thought, hey, if I'm going to use it, let me something that I'm comfortable with. And I always felt that selendang Grace Kelly-like was something that I liked. It was very it was very it was nice. I liked it. That look really suited me. Okay, at the end of the day, I'm still vain, huh? Sorry. And then but then someone, I remember the person said, dek, nampak anak rambut. And that really, really annoyed me, because, you know, here I am on my journey towards whatever I felt was the right thing to do, and then you tegur, straight away buka. Lepas tu, that next day I like, you know, dah lah, I bought the
Dah
whole
tak nak dah.
shebang already. Lepas tu tak nak, tawar hati, you know. But I will try lah my level best to try and cover up wherever I can. Just, you know, also not so much about the religion, but also to respect just my husband, because yeah, they always say, oh, you know, it's only for your husband to look at. But for this part, I do respect him. Like, you know, he doesn't ask me to cover up. In fact, he likes me, the sexier the better. But it's something that, you know, it's something that I wanna give to my husband lah. You know, at that one I'm a little bit traditionalist in that sense lah. But when that makcik said nampak anak rambut semua, and I remember doing it, she was saying it masa we were at the mosque. And that's when I went like, the next day I'm like, that's it, I'm done. Okay, goodbye. I'll just use all these scarves that I've already bought, some more matching colour with all the anak tudung, all bye-bye. And I'll just leave it there. Like one whole kotak of it. So yeah, in my honest opinion, I don't think that was very nice of the person. I don't know what it is that they meant. I mean, mungkin the intention was kind.
Is it only ever
I
about
don't
your
know.
looks, or is it also about like how you behave, or things that you say, or things that you promote? Like already sabun titik is one. You got flagged for that. What else?
And another one, this. Look at this. Does this look like a cross to you, Cheryl?
No, I've
This
seen
is
it
a
in person.
clover.
I've seen it in person, and I was like, oh, she's got like a nice clover. Okay, cool.
You knew immediately, right?
Yeah,
And-
yeah,
and-
yeah.
And people have to forget that I've got a family who's Catholic, who has crosses everywhere in my hometown. Like when I go in, or straight away my religion tergugat, is it? No. I got dogs, I got pigs in my kampung. No, it's alright. Touch also. Wash lah. You know, so things like that. So people do like just sharing, just to let you know that you have to like samak tujuh kali. Like samak lah. But yes, I do kena tegur lah. Just sharing all lah.
So I used to wear the headscarf for, I think I wore it from 2012 to about 2015, and this was like not like suka-suka. I wore it every day. It was a thing lah. I was ready, and I did it because I was at a place where I felt like I wanted to be a sort of better person, I guess, and this was like a way of manifesting that. Not to say that because you wear the tudung you're a better person, but it was supposed to be like a physical reminder to sort of be better for me. So I put it on, and a lot of people were very, very encouraging about it at first, because they're like, oh, you know, Alhamdulillah, dia dah pakai tudung. She's like, whatever. And then I would go out, and I would be wearing like jeans and like a t-shirt, and I can't help it if I've got tits lah, you know. I'm very blessed, and I'm very well endowed, even more so now that I'm breastfeeding. But even before, I was not bad. I could hold my own, okay, and fill up a bra quite well. So random strangers would like come up to me and say things like, baju you ketat sangat ah, tak baik tau pakai jeans macam tu, tak baik tau pakai baju macam tu, cuba pakai baju longgar sikit. And this is like random people at the toilet, random people at the mall, and I started feeling very sort of offended, because I'm already covered up the way you obviously want me to be, but it's still not good enough for you. The line of it was when I had gone to a government agency to drop off something for work, and I was talking to someone in the lift, and a random someone else in the lift just says, "Dek, tak baik lah pakai tudung, cakap kuat-kuat macam tu. Cuba cakap lembut sikit."
No way.
And I was like, yo, cannot lah. I might be covered, but I'm still Hakka, yo. And my mother is still like China, and we're still like loud. And the minute you try to diminish my volume, it's kind of game over lah. So that's sort of the point where I realized that even though I was covered and even though I could sort of, I guess, dress the part or dress acceptably, there was still going to be something that was always going to be unacceptable. Your jeans are too tight, you can wear looser pants, but then your top will be too tight and you have to wear looser clothes. But then suddenly you're speaking too much English, or suddenly you're speaking too loud, suddenly you're wearing too much makeup, suddenly, you know, it's just, there's always going to be a problem. And I was not down with that. I was not down with basically the tudung suddenly becoming the passport for the entire public to sort of just police me as and when they wanted. That was not cool at all. So at least now, when I'm dressed the way I'm dressed, nobody tries to like tell me anything, because as you said, I've got a very commanding face that will repel people. But when I put on the tudung, it doesn't matter if I've got a commanding face, because they're just gonna like say it anyway, because she's covered, she's one of us, you know, we can tegur her. But actually no lah. So that is like a very extensive just sharing that I had to endure for like 3 years of my life. And so in the end, I didn't feel, because it didn't feel like I was doing it for me anymore. It didn't feel like I was getting any better. It just felt really like I was giving everybody an outlet to say how I should present myself, which is kind of making me in a way sort of lose my identity, and I didn't really like that. So I decided to take control again, and I took off my tudung. And throughout the 3 years I didn't cut my hair, you see. So I took off the tudung and then I chopped off all of my hair, and then I added some gold streaks in it, and then my father didn't talk to me
very
for
drastic,
like 2 weeks.
You go all the way,
I go,
You're either
man.
here or there. You don't go in the middle. You're like that.
No, I got no time for this middle thing.
But that's just it, you know. I think I mentioned it casually over one of my IG lives. I said like, because I think I was talking about my pendant, and then someone said, Kak, janganlah marah, sebab dalam Islam it is we should, in fact it's berdosa if we don't tegur, you know, because then we will berdosa, because we know that you're doing something wrong and we don't point it out, tapi kita tak boleh aibkan, so that's why I DM you privately, you know, like that. So
just sharing.
You know what I mean? Very frustrating, you know, very frustrating.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I understand because, and that's just it. Are we being too sensitive because we're being very defensive? Because maybe these people are meaning well for us. You know what I mean? That they berniat baik. How do we differentiate that? How do we then tell ourselves, no, this one I cannot?
My question to you is,
by our ego?
Yeah, but my question to you is, it's great that they berniat baik and everything, but what are they doing to improve themselves and to be better Muslims themselves? Like, why are they so concerned about your pendant, my hair, your hair? We got a lot of comments also recently in a show that my husband and I did about how he has long hair and I have short hair, and I was wearing like a sleeveless top.
No way!
And they said, tutup lah aurat tu kalau nak cakap benda macam ni pun. But we were talking about things like the Rohingya, and we were talking about things like fake news and, you know, politics. But they're like, you're sleeveless, so therefore you are discredited. I would read all these comments and I was like, sure, hari tu dia dapat banyak pahala. Bagus lah. Because he wrote that one comment, right, God was like 50 points for you, man. You told her. But really though, do you think that's how it works? Like, if you really berniat baik lah, right, why don't you go and like pray for me then? So my father used to say that to me when he got really sick of telling me off. He would just be like, I'll pray for you. And I'm like, good, you should pray harder also. And I'll just like walk out of the house in my shorts, right? But he would actually like really pray for me lah, okay? Because obviously he's my father, right? But my point here is, if you really berniat baik, there are other ways of extending your goodwill, you know. Yes, it's berdosa to tak tegur, but if you have no full context of it, like your pendant, for example, when you tegur and you salah, that's technically also mengaitkan orang, right? Fitnah, right? So you also berdosa, right? So why you just don't say anything and you just like pray for Daphne? Hashtag pray for Daphne. Just sharing.
Pray for peace. Pray for just sharing, huh? Well, yeah, that's just it. I absolutely agree with you. At the end of the day, what is your niyat when you wanna say your piece, and if they don't want to listen to you, then don't have her on lah. Don't resend that same text. If I cannot go to Sheril, go to this, go to that, you know.
Don't get
Go to my
offended
husband.
either. Don't get offended either when people disagree with you and they offer up a counter opinion, because you are just sharing. We also can share what. So you one person
We
we can
agree
just
to
sharing, is
disagree.
it?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're very true. Very true.
Yeah.
And to all those just sharers, yes, just sharers. Because I know I've had my share of sharing and it backfired too. Now because of that, I have to be really mindful, or just keep quiet. You know, unless you know that person really well, and itu pun I think a bit sensitive lah. Maybe I won't go there. Yeah, maybe I won't go there.
Well,
because
there
what
are
if it's someone that
specific.
you really know.
Yeah, there are specific languages that you can use to come across as constructive. You can always say things like, "You could try." You can always say things like, "This has worked for me." You and I have swapped opinions and swapped notes many times. There was a time when we were talking about pumping. I don't know if you remember, and you were telling me that you were not pumping regularly. And I told you, well, you know, if you want to keep up the supply and you want to make sure you don't get mastitis and everything, then you should probably start pumping regularly. And then I offered you certain solutions of how to do it even while you're on the go. Whether they were but whether they were constructive or whether they were effective or not is different. And then I told you that, and then I just left it as that. So lepas tu kalau kau pump ke kau tak pump ke, that's up to you lah, right? But I didn't go like, sis, just sharing. It's not good for you to like not pump regularly, okay? Because then you're going to get like mastitis, whatever. I'm just telling you because, you know I berdosa when your boobs like swell up and, you know, you get like lumps and things.
See, okay, so I didn't know that was your just sharing. I just took it as a conversation that we had. And I guess it's because of the tone and the words, and choices of words that you use to address it. To tell me in my face, Daph, go. I know you're lazy. Go and do it. Bloody go and do it. If not, you come complaining to me. Pain. No,
fever.
Fever. Oh my god, yes, it was during a fever time. That's right. Now I recall.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So there are ways to give people helpful advice without being overbearing or overcritical or offending someone, basically. But also, if the person doesn't want to take your advice, don't feel so personally offended that this person is just disregarding you altogether, because maybe the person has found something that works better for them. Like for you, you constantly take Elon everywhere and you stuff his face in your boob all the time. Then I'm like, okay lah, then she's not getting lumps lah, right? She's got like a human pump going on for her. So great. So biar je lah. Ya Allah.
Okay, what if it's something, let's say it's someone close to you and you know that maybe she's going a little bit overboard on substances and you're concerned. Because I've got like two extreme answers. That one says don't, because whatever it is, Daphne, he or she will be continuing and there's nothing that can change his or her mindset right now because they're already on the substance and they're hooked. Whereas someone says, yeah, it's true, you better just go because that's like, that can kill that person, and you're like, tapi kau tak buka mulut. That becomes a bit tricky.
It comes back to how much time do you have in your life, Daphne? You damn free, is it? Like, I get it, this person means a lot to you. You know, people in general, there are a lot of people that mean a lot to all of us. But at the end of the day, as my husband constantly reminds me, because I am also an invasive person who doesn't believe in privacy for the people that I care about, it's their life. They can do whatever they want. So like, you just have to like let them do it lah. And he constantly reminds me that my role as a friend is to actually just be supportive. You can offer advice, especially if it's something as severe as that, and tell them why it's not good for them, but don't condemn them lah. But you know, you got to tell them that, you know, if you do this is what's going to happen to you, and you know, I don't want to see that happen to you. But when they don't listen to you and everything, you can't get upset and personally be like, then how, because at the end of the day, it's their life. So the key, I think, is don't just share, but instead be constructive and be respectful, and definitely don't take it personally, because everybody's going through their own thing, you know. Like you said, when you were going through your journey of wearing the headscarf and everything, that was your thing. and when I was doing it, it was my thing, and you know, everybody is going through their own thing, so you can't really share your perspective thinking that it's going to be exactly the same as what you assume this person's situation is. So stop just sharing.
Well said,
Jangan share.
Stop the just sharing, but if you have to give an opinion, let it be constructive. So we are dying to find out how you would be. I mean, I didn't even know that Cheryl's mastered the art of just sharing without being, you know, I didn't even know she was just sharing with me the other day. Anyway, thank you so much for watching again. It's been great. Thank you, Cheryl. That was fun.
Yeah, tell us
was
your
fun-ish.
just sharing horror stories as well, because you know, we women need to stick together. If you're a guy and you have just sharing stories, my husband gets just sharing all the time, every week, without fail. But you know, he's fine. He's
Dia
very,
punya
very
level
stable.
high, man. Dia punya masuk parlimen, y'all.
So he's okay. He's fine. He doesn't need to share with us how he feels about it, because he's all right. He's cool. Yeah, but let us know
Alright, we're
if
gonna
you
sign
have
off now.
just sharing
Yeah.
horror stories as well. Yeah. So I am Sheril A. Bustaman.
And I'm Daphne Iking. This is Swapping Notes, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Yay!